is this. I think that there are a minority, but a number of Tea Party Republicans that are essentially holding most of the Republican Party hostage. And I think a decision has to be made as to whether or not the majority is going to break free. And I think Jean alluded to some of it and you were talking about the deficit negotiations that were taking place. I actually do believe that John Boehner, who has cut deals before, may have been willing to cut a deal. I don't think he could go back and he could sell it to the rest of his caucus and to make that real. I also believe that that's consistent with the politics of this, because people then are always looking over their shoulder and wondering what's going to happen in their primaries, and they see it play out time and time and time again. So the question is whether or not the exogenous shocks that are going to hit our country, whether or not people are going to pay attention to the fact that we're going to send our economy over a cliff once again, if we don't deal with the issue of sequestration and try to avoid it with the deal, if we don't deal with the tax cuts, because otherwise we can't pay for any of this, if we're not going to be willing to invest in the things that are actually going to help our economy grow, if we're not going to do the kinds of things that are necessary in the immediate future to help grow our economy, whether or not people are going to pay attention to that, or whether or not they're going to be held hostage to a minority of people who have taken all kinds of pledges that don't make any sense. And no economist out there, and across ideological, not none, but most economists out there, even across ideological lines, believes that we can do this without some level of revenue and without some level of spending cuts. I think that's the question, and that's the mixture.
Governor, do you want to jump in on this?
Well, you know, I think it's politics. I mean, I don't think the Tea Partiers necessarily all believe what they're saying, and I don't think the Republicans who are going along with the Tea Partiers believe everything that the Tea Partiers are saying, but they feel trapped. They feel trapped, as you've just described, that they're going to lose their next primary. They're going to be challenged. And so something's got to give. And I think something will give. We're going to see movement. I think the president's going to be reelected. I don't know whether we pick up 25 seats, 18 seats, 17 seats, 15 seats. If a bunch of Tea Party folks lose, then it's going to be a lot easier to deal with. And I think a bunch of them are going to lose. I mean, a bunch of them are already substantially behind as we look at a November election. Now, listen, we got to get through the next 3 days, and we got to see what the polls do in a couple of days after that. But I think we're going to see some movement.